Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Monday, the 5th of May 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai, all your posts put on chain. Let's see what we got today then. Check it out. So just some hilarious AI generated imagery from Ruth Eastman. I thought that was great, well worth a mention. You've got this article by Bitail saying BSV blockchain stress test performance results. We'll have a look at that. Craig absolutely on fire with his post. I can't even keep up with him. Great post here from somebody that pointed out the blocks that the different forks came out at. So we got obviously BTC forked at block 481824 with Segwit. And then BCH forked at block 556766 with their CTOR and their Schnorr signature fork. And then just the original Bitcoin just carried on. BSV, but great image, that one. Great image. Cointelegraph says that AI platform to support Bitcoin and USD payments, CEO says. See what's going on there. Industry calls for urgent crypto law reforms after Australian election. All right, let's see what's going on. CoinGeek has got some articles here. There's one or two that sort of suit my fancy. We'll have a look at those. Can't really see anything. I think it was some articles here about Kurt's recent interview that sort of sparked my attention a little bit. And what's this trending? Oh, maybe they've taken it off or something. Most views. Core problem with BTC. Yeah. Oh, we'll have a look when we get there. We'll have a quick look through the figures. See what's going on. What's on chain. There we go. The figures 27 million. Loving that. Coin Codex we'll look at. Found BSV on Poloniex. Some live coin watch, and then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Alrighty, here we go. So I thought this was hilarious. Somebody else had made an image of Craig Abigail. Kurt was just like, yeah, it's gorgeous. And Ruth has improved it here. Like, I shouldn't laugh and I shouldn't encourage it, but I can't help myself. I thought that was really funny. And then Scott had also said here that I've improved it further. See if we can find the others. There we go. Scott's put some red socks on him. Love it. I do love the witticism and humour in BSV because it is intelligent, funny humour. Witty. Yeah, loving that. And sarcastic as well. Lowest form of wit, highest form of intelligence. Love it. So yeah, that's kind of made my day. Great stuff. Right, let's get on to this article here by Bitail saying BSV blockchain stress test performance results. Here we go. All right. So he said, we conducted a stress test on the BSV blockchain to evaluate Bitail's capacity under high transaction loads. Below is a summary of the findings. Syncing mode performance. Before the stress test in syncing mode, using standard resources, the system processed 1 billion transactions per day. So that's 11,500 transactions per second. We kept a ledger of at least 2 billion transactions with older data pruned to optimize storage. These results reflect current resource levels, which can be scaled to improve performance if when required. Unspent output, unspent transaction output, only mode performance. In a separate scenario, we tested a configuration where only UTXO set is maintained without full transaction indexing, a setup suited for many business applications. The system achieved 100,000 transactions per second with an estimated 8 billion daily transactions. Note that since the performance changes based on the number of transactions, stroke input outputs and UTXO set size, we added 3 billion UTXOs to the UTXO set to make the scenario closer to a highly used network. Again, the results are tied to the current system configuration and can be scaled if needed. Mempool performance. The main part of the test evaluated mempool performance, which is essential for real-time transaction processing. The mempool sustained 8,000 transactions per second, but some issues were detected, which are being resolved and will be retested in the next stress test. Cost and performance balance. Test prioritized performance and cost efficiency to meet deployment needs, ensuring scalability without excessive infrastructure costs, which is essential to our solo indexer, a solution for businesses to index their data. A follow-up stress test is being planned to address mempool issues and explore further optimizations. Details will be announced soon here and on our Telegram group. Oh, all right. I'm on Telegram desktop. Join group. There we go. Loving that. Jobs are good un. All right. Well, all in all, sounds very encouraging, that does. Let's see. I don't know if Craig is... Oh, that's just one of Craig's other posts, but it looks quite funny. Craig's having a whale of a time at the moment. When was this? 5th of May. Oh, today. Here we go. So Craig has said 10 years ago, before the so-called forks, before the grifting and the protocol vandalism, Bitcoin adoption eclipsed everything this bloated, buzzword-soaked industry has mustered since. Microsoft, Expedia, whole enterprise accept it. Not crypto, not something DeFi, NFT, gas fee abomination. Bitcoin, not BTC, Bitcoin. It was working, then came the rot. Two things killed it. First, they broke the protocol again and again. The dev priesthood of BTC decided stability was for fools and backward compatibility was beneath them. Every change they pushed fractured the user base. Every upgrade rendered working systems obsolete. Real businesses don't want to play a whack-a-mole with the protocol specs written by boys chasing Reddit karma. So they left, and every time they left, the fire dimmed. Second, the fees. The genius innovation of BTC was to become the one payment system where the fee can exceed the product. Micropayments, gone. Small casual transactions, dead. The dream of a global cash system drowned under a pile of high value settlement. Dogma vomited out by the devs who couldn't code a lemonade stand that breaks even. They even destroyed it on purpose, or they were too dense to understand the cost of what they were doing. Either way, the result is the same, a crippled corpse of what once worked. The tragedy isn't that Bitcoin failed, it didn't, it was sabotaged, and now the world is left picking through the wreckage while the arsonists hold TED Talks. Yeah, Craig is very clear on exactly what has happened. You know, there is no one that knows Bitcoin inside out like Craig. Craig knows exactly what they have done to it. And I think it'd be interesting to know if he has figured out why they're doing it. But like I said, I personally think this conspiracy goes back 3,000 years, is what I think. And I sort of mentioned this in my last podcast that I did on the Podghost podcast. We'll look at those figures in a minute. It's doing quite well. For you, I think it's got about 2,000 views so far. Very encouraging viewing figures and comments as well. And check this out. Craig also spotted this yesterday, May the 4th. May the 4th being with you. And he said, and here it is, the sanctimonious rot at the heart of BTC. This is why it'll never be money, because real money doesn't come with a fucking clubhouse and velvet rope. Money isn't some kumbaya community. It's not something you hold hands over and gatekeep like a private school bake sale. Money doesn't ask your politics. It doesn't vote. It doesn't care who you pray to, what you eat, or what you screw. It's not moral, it's not immoral, it's amoral, it just is. It flows where it works, and cash, real cash, never needed a permission slip from a Twitter influencer cosplaying as a revolutionary. So no, Anthony, you don't protect money by censoring it, you nurture it. You turn it into a toy for technocrats and grift for sycophants. And when the real thing walks in, no one is going to give a damn about your curated echo chamber of limp wallets and louder mouths. And look at this. Look at what he wrote. Can you believe it? This is what he actually said. He said and this was 12th of April 2019. He said every exchange should delist BSV simultaneously on May 1st in a sign of solidarity behind the only Bitcoin that ever mattered. What? Greg coin. Yeah, alright, mate. This community is the responsibility of the people. Sometimes we must do the hard thing, not because it's easy, but because it's right. And again, it's just following the ticker symbol. I mean, that's basically all it is. He's like, oh, I can't believe that, the market has decided, they pumped it with Tether, it's got the BTC ticker symbol, and that's Bitcoin. Honestly, they are absolutely clueless. Absolutely clueless. Yeah, I can totally understand why Craig's utterly pissed off. Well, I think he's more pissed off with the fact that what they've done. He knows that they also know they're wrong, and they're parading like the moral high ground. Absolutely unbelievable. There's lots of posts here from I won't be able to get through them all. I would much as I would love to. Let's just take them from a chronological order. Like a poet there. And he says, what's this about? Light Phoenix. Seems like that's an oversupply of capacity, though. A Grok estimated 100 to 150,000 total per second TPS currently. And that's the existing market. I suppose I'm focused on the white papers, focus on micropayments. Craig has said your estimates about as useful as a glass hammer in a thunderstorm. Grok's lazy back of napkin figures doesn't even skim the surface. Once you account for the derivative trade events called every cancelled order, RFQ, inventory hedge, and fill adjustment, we're looking at 1 to 5 million events per second at peak. That's not a rounding error. That's the real world load if you want to replace actual finance. Micropayments, sure, but you need industrial grade bandwidth to carry them. You're quoting dial-up speeds in a fiber world. He also goes on about Charles Hoskin. Yeah, he says Charles Hoskin talking about free speech on Cardano is like a clown insisting he's building a rocket ship in his garage out of a papier-mâché and hubris. Let's start with the raw numbers. Twitter processes around 6,000 tweets per second. Facebook handles even more with messaging, reactions, updates, ads, and the slop of human narcissism, all blitzing through servers at scale. So again, I presume he's saying that because it's all coming onto Bitcoin, all of it. You want decentralized social media? Start with transaction capacity. Cardano's laughable throughput is somewhere between a glacier and a coma. A coma, yeah. Even under the ideal lab conditions, you're not scratching the surface of what's needed. It's the equivalent of trying to fill a lake with an eyedropper. Cardano isn't a platform. It's a moving target taped to a spinning wheel. Its protocol is a living joke. Every few months, there's a new upgrade, a new academic white paper no one reads, and a fresh marketing cycle pretending the things still in the beta after nearly a decade. You can't build anything real on that kind of foundation. Developers need reliability. They don't want their backend re-broken every time someone at IOHK finishes a peer review nap. Now let's talk about decentralization, Cardano's favorite magic word. They wave it like a toddler with a stick, not understanding it's only useful when it stops changing. The internet is decentralized, and more importantly, it's stable. That's why it works. TCP/IP hadn't been yanked apart and glued back together every quarter by a committee of scholars pretending they're the stewards of liberty. The reality is this: you can build a decentralized social platform, but it needs to scale. It needs to be fixed, and it needs to be boring in its predictability, as in like very predictable. It needs to handle millions of transactions per second without blinking. Cardano can't handle a fart in an elevator without crashing the app. As for free speech, it's not about decentralization. You post the wrong thing on Twitter now, and it isn't the code that silences you, it's the laws. The governments, the platforms acting as gatekeepers. Absolutely, glad he spotted that. Stick your nonsense on chain, and if it's illegal, it'll still be used against you, because the state doesn't give a shit if it's decentralized. It cares if it's recorded, and once it is, it can be subpoenaed, indexed, and weaponized. So while you're out here dreaming of crypto social media revolutions, the real builders are focused on one thing: stability, a stable protocol, a stable system, and the ability to scale under your until your dreams look like footnotes. Cardano doesn't need to enter the social media space; it needs to enter the adult world of engineering. Oh yeah, and this is funny. He goes on. He says, oh, bless your nervous little fingers, Larry. You posted like a man who just discovered Google yesterday and thought he'd cracked the Da Vinci Code. Military parades must be fascism. You squealed when clutching your pearls like a debutante at her first scandal. Let's run the tape, shall we? George Washington, that powered war god, literally reviewed the troops on horseback in full regalia during the Whiskey Rebellion. He paraded his way through Philadelphia like Caesar crossing the Rubicon in breeches. Thomas Jefferson's low-key parade, sure, but still posed with a militia like a statesman who knew optics mattered. Guess nuance didn't make you tweet. James Monroe paraded Lafayette across the young republic with cannons and marching bands. Was that fascism too, Larry, or just old school American adoration? Andrew Jackson, you know, the lunatic who beat a would-be assassin with his cane. He paraded troops like he was rehearsing for the apocalypse. A military man through and through, fascist or just proud and ornery. Zachary Taylor, do you think he got elected because of his economic plans? No, Larry. The man was paraded across the country like a golden calf after slaughtering Santana Ann's dreams. Abel Lincoln, he knows a lot about history. I don't know many of these people. I couldn't tell you about them. Abe Lincoln, the sainted rail splitter himself, presided over enough parades to send you into a connipution. The Grand Review of Armories in 1865 had more troops than your IQ has digits. But no, let's reduce everything to Hitler had parades to Trump. Must be Hitler. Genius deduction, really. But that logic, brushing your teeth, is authoritarian because Mussolini had nice enamel. Military parades aren't proof of a dictatorship, Larry. They're theatre, pomp, pageantry, sometimes patriotism, sometimes propaganda, but mostly a nation flexing its muscles in dress uniform. It's not ideology, it's choreography. So maybe next time before you hit post, like a beat, read a book, hell, read a tweet that isn't your own. Because when Washington and Lincoln join your hit list, the only dictatorship on display will be the tyranny of your ignorance. Scary Larry, so world leaders who have had military parades: Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, Kim Jong-un, Donald Trump. Congratulations, America. You officially reached a dogshit fascist dictatorship status. Hope it was all worth it to own the libs. Again, I didn't quite... Oh, so Scary Larry's got 79.8k followers. It's still quite a lot. There's so much. There is so much to go through. I wish I could. I wish I had time to go through more of it. So let's see what he says about Luke Dash Jr. Luke Dash Jr., the prophet of the blockchain temple. Luke Dash Jr., the self-appointed high priest of the Bitcoin core temple. What a glorious character to observe. He's like a zealot who found religion in a broken calculator and a one-line Python script, convinced that a half-baked ideology and an error-riddled repository are the solutions to the world's economic problems. The man's got faith, I'll give him that, but it's misplaced. In fact, it's more like the kind of faith you have when you're praying for Wi-Fi and still using dial-up. And Luke's the guy that eats cats. Like, honestly, I mean, they're absolutely mental over at Core. I don't know how many of them have had, like, sex changes now. You know, Vladimir van der Land's had a sex change, and, like, you know, just loads of them. Loads of them have done it. Absolutely mental. You know? Again, we've all gone woke, basically. Let's see what he says about Vitalik here. Vitalik Buterin, the proclaimed prince of Ethereum, architect of the infinite fork and patron saint of rug pull renaissance. If you distilled every Reddit thread, TEDx talk and white paper into a single pale figure with the charisma of a damp sponge and the conviction of a Magic the Gathering champion, you'd have Vitalik Buterin, the man-child who at 19 decided Bitcoin wasn't complicated enough and birthed Ethereum, a platform so convoluted it makes Kafka works look like children's bedtime stories. Ethereum was supposed to be the world computer, but instead it's become the world's most elaborate Rube Goldberg machine. Smart contracts, question mark, more like dumb commitments. Decentralization, question mark, only if you consider a handful of developers and validators as the people. Buterin's vision has led to a blockchain that's as bloated as it is broken, with gas fees that could rival GDP of small nations. Under Buterin's watchful eye, Ethereum has become the breeding ground for every scam imaginable. That's true. From ICOs to NFTs, it's a invariable playground for grifters and con artists. And when things go south, as they inevitably do, Buterin is there with his signature shrug and a blog post full of technobabble that says everything and nothing at once. Buterin didn't just open Pandora's box, he built a decentralized app to monetize it. He promised a new internet but delivered a digital Wild West where the only law is caveat emptor. In the end, Ethereum under Buterin's guidance has become a testament to what happens when idealism meets incompetence. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ethereum is just an absolute joke. I mean, they didn't even realize what they'd done when they moved it from proof of work to proof of stake. You know, can't scale, gas fees through the roof. I mean, it's an absolute effing joke. And Craig knows it more than anyone. You know, brilliant there. Check this out. So this is a post by Joong Sunung. This is awesome. Who, if he came up with this, I mean, what? And this is actually goes on to complement another post here, which was by BSV Columbia, all about what happened to the forks. Whereas really, this actually shows even better. It's got the detail. Look. So SegWit, literally, you know, complete new alternative protocol that forked at block 481824 on the 24th of August 2017. A completely new chain was created. And then as Bitcoin carried on, again, you know, Roger Ver and his crony mates, they created another fork, the canonical transaction ordering and Schnorr signature fork as well. And that went off at block 556766. But the original Bitcoin is just simply BSV, right from day one. Bitcoin as it was from the beginning and hasn't changed. No alternative protocols, no new coins, just Bitcoin. That's what it is. Going to use that as my thumbnail there. Awesome. All right, let's have a look at Cointelegraph saying Tether AI platform to support Bitcoin, that's Gridcoin, and USD payments, CEO says. Tether's AI crypto payment support will be enabled via a newly launched wallet development kit that enables self-custodial wallets for Bitcoin and Tether USDT. Tether AI, the forthcoming artificial intelligence platform from stablecoin giant Tether, will feature payments in major cryptocurrencies including USDT and Gridcoin. Tether CEO Paolo Adornio took to X on May 5th to tease the imminent launch of Tether AI, the company's new AI platform designed to offer personal infinite intelligence. Oh dear, oh dear. That sounds like an accident waiting to happen. According to Adornio, Tether's AI platform will be integrated with USDT, Gridcoin payments, allowing users to make transactions directly through peer-to-peer network. Oh dear, what a load of crap. The initiative builds on Tether's December 2024 announcement that it was developing a website for AI tool targeting a launch by the end of the first quarter 2025. Support of any hardware and device. Adornio emphasizes that Tether AI seriously will not use application programming interface keys and will not depend on centralized control points. Yeah, whatever. Instead, Tether AI will offer a fully open source AI at runtime and will run on an unstoppable peer-to-peer network. Yeah, right. And be fully modular and composable. Oh, absolute BS. Honestly, absolute shite. Absolute shite is what all that is. Not interested in that at all. Let's see what they say. So, industry calls for urgent crypto law reforms after Australian election. The crypto industry has called on Australia's re-elected government. Oh, don't tell me they re-elected them. Gotta be kidding me. To make good on its promise and priorities crypto legislation early in its new term. The Australian crypto industry has called on the newly re-elected Labor government. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. To urgently make digital asset legislation a top priority to ensure Australia doesn't fall further behind global market. What are the Aussies doing? What are they doing re-electing these absolute scumbags? I mean, did they not realise they've been absolutely screwed over? I mean, what the fuck? The incumbent Australian Labor Party was returned in a landslide on May 3rd, picking up 54.9% of the two-party preferred vote against the Liberal and National parties on 45.1%. Both parties went to the election promising crypto law reform, but only the opposition pledged to deliver draft legislation within 100 days. Also, they must know that's how you win the vote. Coinbase Managing Director for APAC, John O'Logan, said on May 5th the re-elected Anthony Albanese, you've got to be kidding me, government has the opportunity and the responsibility to move quickly on the issue and call for a crypto asset task force to be established within its first 100 days with the aim of bringing forward legislation and protects consumers, promotes innovation and stops the exodus of talent and capital from other markets. Joy Lam, Binance's head of global regulatory and APAC legal, said the exchange has been consulting with Treasury officials since late 2023 about its proposed legislation, and it was now time for action. Timing is really quite critical now because obviously it's something that these have been discussed and kicked around for quite a few years, she told Cointelegraph in an interview on May 2nd. Oh my god, I can't believe what the fuck is going on? I mean, either people are so dumb or the election is rigged, which I'm guessing it probably will be because they're so corrupt. I mean, how bad has the government got to be to actually get re-elected by the people? Like, oh my god. Right, let's see what this is. Last week in AI, Visa to build AI shopping agent, Meta's AI app. Not bothered about that. Can BRICS really replace USD? I mean, core problem with BTC. I listened to Kurt's podcast with Paul Stork. I think that's how you pronounce it. I didn't see all of it, so there might have been more later on, but. Again, I mean, I didn't hear any discussions about the economic fundamentals that makes Bitcoin a commodity. That's it. Second layers and all that. Literally, the only way you can commoditize data, and secure it to make sure there's no central point of authority, control, or failure, is literally on the Bitcoin network. That's it. The moment you move data onto, or a replica of a data onto some kind of second layer or like alternative platform that's been built, you're moving on to a centralized platform. Because in order to keep your data safe, there has to be an economically competitive, globally distributed foundation with a chain of digital signatures to make sure it's not centrally controlled. That's it. And you cannot. There's no other blockchain that can do that. Well, made Litecoin, but again, Litecoin didn't have a commoditized starting point. That's it. That's pretty much how you beat them. There is nobody at CoinGeek discussing this, which bit disheartening. Whether or not it's a tactic to just keep these shitcoiners interested, just keep the shit going. But really, personally, I would just nail it. I'd be like, look, that's it. End of. That's what you need. You're building a security. That's what they're doing. All right, let's have a quick look at these figures then, because that's 29 minutes of the show already. $37, transactions 98.69, block size 96.3. Let's have a look at the blocks coming through. 77. There were some big blocks earlier. I think I saw like 100 megabytes and all that. 50,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Greycoin mining. Bitcoin at an 18.3% comparable loss. So that means the profitability is still being carefully managed. Hash rates, all right, got that. Let's have a look at transaction volume. 29 million. It's being sustained. 29 million. 29,875,885 transactions in the last 24 hours, representing 91.8% of the entire market. Let's refresh that. 24 million on what's on chain. Let's have a look at Coin Codex. They've got a price of 37.27. Yeah, Huobi 8 million, Poloniex 5 million. Just cross-reference that. OKX right down there. CEMX 1.4 million. Upbit 2.5 million. Yeah, looks like they're sort of dropping off a little bit, but I found Poloniex. Look, and Poloniex have actually got. This is what I couldn't find it because I was searching for BSV. You have to type in BCHSV to USDT, and they've got $5 million, $5.3 million 24-hour trade volume. Oh, looks like the price just upticking just a little bit there. Oh, going up a little bit. Nice. That's all right. So we've got a 24-hour high of 38.09, a low of 36.34. All right. Let's have a look at the overall market. Market cap $2.9 trillion, or closing in on $3 trillion of fraud. Great coin looks like this is trending downwards in the last 24 hours. Volume, market 24-hour trade volume just 1.34%. Let's have a look at the rest of the market. Nothing really too interesting there. Let's see where Bitcoin is. Number 74, 37.41. And Huobi in the lead, apparently, according to breakdown of trade volume. Coin DCX in second, Gate.io in third. Well done them. Above OKX in fourth, MEXC in fifth. Wow, that's all right, isn't it? Nice. Some 365 days of Bitcoin history, just quickly. Let's have a look at this. Well, now May. So we did that on May the 4th, May 4th, 1956. How Finney was born, that's his birthday. May the 4th, 2008, Coindesk.com domain was created. May 4th, 2009 was emails number 4 and 5 of the Marty Malmi emails. Got some Bitcoin talk posts there. 5th of May 2009, Marty Malmi emails 6, 7 and 8. 5th of May 2018, Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared. Buffett, check it out. This was the day. So they posted this on the 7th of May, but I think Buffett said that on the 5th of May. That was really quite funny, that. Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared, says Buffett. The news may not sound positive for the supporters of cryptocurrencies, but the widely followed Oracle of Omaha, that's Warren Buffett, has once again warned investors to be wary of Bitcoin as an investment category. While speaking at the eagerly awaited Berkshire Hathaway 2018 annual shareholder meeting in Omaha, Nebraska on Saturday, he said that Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared. I remember that. Buffett's remark comes on top of his comment last week that denigrated Bitcoin as an investment class. He compared Bitcoin investment akin to gambling, as no one knows exactly what it is, according to the widely followed investor. Cryptocurrencies don't produce anything, rather they simply bank on the speculators that the next guy will pay a higher amount for them. Again, greater fool theory. With zero clarity about the business fundamentals and no visible indicators behind the evaluation of such cryptocurrencies, the price moves simply depending upon the temporary phase of speculative demand and supply that leads to high magnitude price fluctuations such as volatility. Does not qualify cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as an asset class. I wonder if they've got the video there. Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared. Classic. Yeah, definitely well worth a mention there of 365 days of Bitcoin history. Right, that's a 34-minute show. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding our donations for appreciation to either Satoshi at Semba.com, handcash.io, rockwallet.me, simply.cash, related.com, or senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
2 years ago, you got SegWit, which we lied and cheated and stealed, and I was part of the lying and cheating and stealing to get SegWit, to get Lightning, which, by the way, had critical vulnerabilities and lost people's money.
The king still has one more move.